Hello everyone, hope you all are well. I am welcoming you to my last lecture of filter circuit, which is part 4 of filter circuit, and you can get all the lecture part 1, part 2 and part 3 in my description section of this video. So before going through this part 4 section, please go through the part 1, part 2 and part 3 section. Then the whole filter circuit will definitely clear to you. So myself Mr. Santanu Noskar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Department, GKCM JIS Group, and my mail ID is santanu.uit@gmail.com and santanu.noskar_gkcm@jisgroup.org. And this is my Facebook page, Being Electrified with Santanu. You can get all the lecture in my Facebook page and also in my YouTube channel. So let's talk about your syllabus. The name of the course is Electric Circuit Theory, course code PCEE 301. So about this teaching scheme objective I have already discussed in my all videos. So about this content I have already covered all these things except this Fourier method and waveform analysis. So after completing this filter circuit I will start the Fourier method. Okay, so please go through this video, and before going through this video, please go to the part 1, part 2 and part 3 section. So let's start. Now I will start the part 4 with active bandpass filter. So the principal characteristics of a bandpass filter, or any filter for that matter, is its ability to pass frequencies relatively unattenuated over a specified band or spread of frequency called the pass band. So for a low pass filter, this pass band starts from 0 Hz or DC and continues up to the specified cutoff frequency point at -3 decibel down from the maximum pass band gain. Equally, for a high pass filter, the pass band starts from this -3 dB cutoff frequency and continues up to infinity or maximum open loop gain for an active filter. So however, the active band pass filter is slightly different in that it's a frequency selective filter circuit used in electronic system to separate a signal at one particular frequency or a range of signal that lie within a certain band of frequencies from signal at all other frequencies. So this band or range of frequency is set between two cutoff or corner frequency point, labeled the lower frequency FL and the higher frequency FH, while attenuating any signal outside of these 2 points. So simple active band pass filter can be easily made by cascading together a single low pass filter with a single high pass filter. Look here. Okay. So the cutoff corner frequency of the low pass filter, which is also called LPF, is higher than the cutoff frequency of the high pass filter HPF, and the difference between the frequency at the -3 decibel point will determine the bandwidth of the band pass filter while attenuating any signal outside of this point. One way of making a very simple active band pass filter is to connect the basic passive high and low pass filter we looked at previously to an amplifying op-amp circuit as shown in this figure. Look here. So this cascading together of the individual low and high pass active passive filter produce a low Q factor. Quality is also called quality factor. So type filter circuit which has a wide pass band. The first stage of the filter will be the high pass stage that use the capacitor to block any DC biasing from the source. This design has the advantage of producing a relatively flat asymmetrical pass band frequency response, with one half representing the low pass response and the other half representing high pass response as shown in this figure. Look here. High pass plus low pass is -3 decibel, 0 decibel equals to band pass FL FH. Okay, so the higher corner point FH as well as the lower corner frequency cutoff point FL are calculated the same as before in the standard first order low and high pass filter circuit. Obviously, a reasonable separation is required between the two cutoff point to prevent any interaction between the low pass and high pass stage. The amplifier also provides isolation between the two stages and defines the overall voltage gain of the circuit. So the bandwidth of the filter is therefore the difference between this upper and lower minus 3 decibel points. For example, suppose we have a band pass filter whose minus 3 decibel cutoff points set as 200 Hz and 600 Hz. So the bandwidth of the filter would be given as 600 minus 200, 400 Hz. Okay. So the normalized frequency response and phase shift of an active band pass filter will be like this. So this is the active band pass filter frequency response. So while the above passive tune filter circuit will work as a band pass filter, the pass band, which is bandwidth, can be quite wide, and this may be a problem if you want to isolate a small band of frequency. So active band pass filter can also be made using inverting operational amplifier. So by rearranging the position of the resistor and capacitor within the filter, we can produce a much better filter circuit. Okay, so for any active band pass filter, the lower cutoff and minus 3 dB points is given by FC1, while the upper cutoff minus 3 dB point is given by my FC2. So the better circuit, the much better filter circuit, which I discussed, shown here, which is called inverting band pass filter circuit. Look here. So look at this circuit. Voltage gain equals to minus R2 by R1, and FC1 equals to 1 by 2 pi R1 C1, and FC2 equals to 1 by 2 pi R2 C2. So this type of band pass filter is designed to have a much narrower pass band. The center frequency and bandwidth of the filter is related to the value of R1, R2, C1 and C2. The output of the filter is again taken from the output of the op-amp. Now I will discuss the multiple feedback band pass active filter. Now we can improve the band pass response of the above circuit by rearranging the component again to produce an infinite gain multiple feedback band pass filter. So this type of active band pass design produce a tuned circuit based around negative feedback active filter, giving it a high Q factor up to 25. So amplitude response and steep roll up on either side of its center frequency. Because the frequency response of the circuit is similar to a resonance circuit, this center frequency is referred to as the resonant frequency, which is F1. So consider this circuit here, infinite gain multiple feedback active filter. So these active band pass filter circuit use the full gain of the operational amplifier with multiple negative feedback applied via resistor R2 and capacitor C2. Then we can define the characteristics of IGMF filter as here, like FR equals to 1 by 2 pi root over R1 R2 C1 C2, and Q factor equals to FR by bandwidth in 3 dB decibel equals to 1 by 2 root over R2 by R1, and maximum gain equals to minus R2 by 2 R1, which is equals to minus 2 Q. So we can see that the relationship between R1 and R2 determines the band pass Q factor and the frequency at which the maximum amplitude occurs, and the gain of the circuit will equals to minus 2 Q square. Then as the gain increase, so to thus the selectivity, in other words high gain, high selectivity. And now go through an example of active band pass filter. Look here, an active band pass filter that has a voltage gain of 1 and resonant frequency FR of 1 kHz is constructed using an infinite gain multiple feedback filter circuit. Calculate the values of the component required to implement the circuit. So firstly we can determine the values of two resistors R1 and R2 required for the active filter using the gain of the circuit to find Q as follows. So AB equals to 1 minus AB equals to 1, which voltage gain of is 1. Okay, so 1 equals to minus 2 Q square as by using formula. So Q equals to root over 1 by 2, which is equals to 0.7071. Now Q equals to 0.7071 equals to 1 by 2 root over R2 by R1 as using the formula. So R2 by R1 equals to 2. Okay, now then we can see that the value of Q equals to 0.7071 give a relationship of resistor R2 being twice the value of resistor R1, then we can choose any suitable value of resistance to give the required ratio of 2. Then resistor R1 equals to 10 kilo and R2 equals to 20 kilo. The center or resonant frequency is given as 1 kilohertz. Using the new resistor value obtained, we can determine the value of the capacitor required, assuming C equals to C1 into equals to C2. Okay, so Fr equals to 1000 hertz, which is equals to 1 by 2 pi C root over R1 R2, and C equals to 1 by 2 pi Fr root over R1 R2, which is equals to 11.2 nanofarad. So the closest standard value is 10 nanofarad. Okay, now I will discuss about the resonance frequency. So the actual shape of the frequency response curve of any passive or active bandpass filter will depend upon the characteristics of the filter circuit, with the curve above being defined as an ideal bandpass response. An active bandpass filter is a second order type filter because it has two reactive components, which is two capacitor within the circuit design. So as a result of this two reactive component, the filter will have a peak response of resonant frequency as its center frequency Fc. The center frequency is generally calculated as being the geometric means of 2 minus 3 decibel frequency between the upper and lower cutoff point with the resonant frequency point of isolation, which is given as Fr equals to root over Fl into Fh, where Fr is the resonant or center frequency, Fl is the lower minus 3 decibel cutoff frequency point, and Fh is the upper minus 3 decibel cutoff frequency point. And in our simple example, in the next above filter lower and upper minus 3 dB cutoff points being 200 and 600 Hz respectively, then the resonant center frequency of this active bandpass filter would be Fr equals to root over 200 into 600, which is 346 Hz. Okay, now I will discuss about the quality factor or Q factor. So in a bandpass filter circuit, the overall width of the actual pass and pass band between the upper and lower minus 3 decibel corner point of the filter determines the quality factor or Q point of the circuit. So this Q factor is measured of how selective or unselective the bandpass filter is towards a given spread of frequency. So the lower the value of the Q factor, the wider the bandwidth of the filter, and consequently the higher the Q factor, the narrower and more selective is the filter. So quality factor Q of the filter is sometimes given by Greek symbol alpha. Okay, so alpha is known as the alpha peak frequency, where alpha equals to 1 by Q as the quality factor of an active bandpass filter. Second order system relates to the sharpness of the filter response around the center resonant frequency. So Fr, it can also be thought of as damping factor or damping coefficient, because the more damping the filter has, the flatter its response, like the less damping of the filter has, sharper is its response. So the damping ratio is given by the Greek symbol psi. Okay, look here, psi equals to alpha by 2. So the Q factor and bandpass filter is the ratio of the resonant frequency to the bandwidth. Okay, Fr by bandwidth. So between the upper and lower minus 3 decibel frequency, which is given as 10. Look here. Okay, high Q narrow bandwidth, low Q narrow bandwidth, and then for our simple example above, the quality factor of the bandpass filter given as, which is 346 by 400 Hz, which is equals to 0.865. Note that Q factor is the ratio, has no unit. So when analyzing active filter, generally a normalized circuit is considered, which produces an ideal frequency response having a rectangular shape and a transition between the pass band and stop band that has an abrupt or very steep roll of slope. However, these ideal responses are not possible in the real world, so we use approximate to give us the best frequency response possible for this type of filter we are trying to design. Okay, and now I will discuss about second order filters. So second order or two-pole filters consist of two RC filter sections connected together to provide a minus 40 decibel per decade roll-off rate. So second order, which are also referred to as VCVS filter, because the op amp is used as a voltage control voltage source amplifier, are another important type of active filter design, because along with the active filter order RC filter we looked at previously, higher order filter circuit can be designed using them. So in this analogous filter section tutorial, we have looked at both passive and active filter design and have seen that first order filter can be easily converted into second order filter simply by using an additional RC network within the input feedback path. Then we define second order filter as simply being two first order filter cascaded together with amplification. So most design of second order filters are generally named after their inventor, with the most common filter type being Butterworth, Chesby, Bessel and Salenkale. All these type of filter design are available as either low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter and band stop or notch filter configuration. And being second order filter, all have a 40 decibel per decade roll off, and the Salenkale filter design is one of the most widely known and popularly second order filter design, and requiring only a single operation amplifier for the gain control and 4 passive RC component to accomplish the tuning. So most active filter consist of only op amp resistor and capacitor, with the cutoff point being achieved by the use of feedback, eliminating the need for inductor or use passive first order filter circuit. So second order two-pole active filter, whether low pass or high pass, are important in electronics because we can use them to design much higher order filter with very steep roll off and by cascading together first and second order filter. Analog filter with an nth order value, either odd or even, can be constructed up to any value within reason. So second order filter are easy to design, are used extensively in many applications. The basic configuration for a Salenkale second order low pass filter is given here, where gain equals to 1 plus RA by RB. If resistor and capacitor values are different, then FC equals to 1 by 2 pi root over R1 R2 C1 C2, and if resistor and capacitor value are same, then FC equals to 1 by 2 pi RC. So the second order low pass filter circuit has two RC network, R1 C2 and R2 C2, which give the filter its frequently response property. The filter design is based around a non-inverting op amp configuration, so that filter gain A will always be greater than 1. Also the op amp has a high input impedance, which means that it can be easily cascaded with other active filter circuit to give more complex filter design. The normalized frequency response of the second order low pass filter is fixed by the RC network and generally identical to that the first order type. The main difference between first order and second order low pass filter is that the stop band roll off will be twice the first order filter at 40 decibel per decade and 12 decibel per octave, as the operating frequency increase above the cutoff frequency point, which is shown in this figure. Okay, so this is the normalized low pass frequency response of normalized low pass frequency response. So the frequency response Bode plot here is basically the same as that for first order filter. The difference this time is the stiffness of the roll off, which is minus 40 decibel per decade. Okay, so however, second order filters can exhibit a variety of response depending upon the circuit voltage and magnification factor Q at the cutoff frequency point. In active second order filter, the damping factor zeta, which is the inverse of Q, is normally used. Both Q and zeta are independently determined by the gain of amplifier A. So gain of amplifier is A. So as Q decreases, the damping factor increases. In simple terms, a low pass filter will always be low pass in its nature, but can exhibit a recent peak in vicinity of the cutoff frequency. That is, the gain can increase rapidly due to resonance effect of the amplifier sign. Then the Q is the quality factor, represent the peakness of the resonance peak, that it is highest and narrowness around the cutoff frequency point Fc. But a filter gain also determines the amount of its feedback and therefore has a significant effect on the frequency response of the filter. Generally, to maintain stability, an active filter gain must not be more than 3 and is best. So expressed as the quality factor equals to A equals to 3 minus 2 into zeta, where zeta equals to 3 minus A by 2 equals to 1 by 2Q. So if A equals to 3 minus 1 by Q. So then we can see the filter gain A for a non-inverting amplifier configuration must lie somewhere between 1 and 3, the damping factor zeta between 0 and 2. Therefore, higher value of Q or lower value of zeta gives a greater peak to the response and faster initial roll of rate. Okay. So now I will discuss about second order filter amplitude response. So the amplitude response of the second order low pass filters varies for different values of damping factor. Look at this picture. This x-axis is frequency and y-axis is for gain. So damping factor of zeta, when zeta equals to 1.0 or more, 2 is the actually maximum number, the filter become what is called overdamped, with the frequency response showing a long flat curve. Look here. Okay, so when zeta equals to 0, the filter output peaks sharply at the cutoff point, resembling a sharp point at which the filter is said to be underdamped. Then somewhere in between zeta equals to 0 and zeta equals to 2.0, there must be a point where the frequency response is of the correct value, and there is this filter is called critically damped and occur when zeta equals to 0.7071, this value, red color. So one final note, when the amount of feedback reaches 4 more, the filter begins to oscillate by itself at the cutoff frequency point due to the resonance effect, changing the filter into an oscillator. Okay, so then for a low pass second order filter, both Q and zeta plays a critical role. Now we can see from the normalized frequency response curve of the first order filter red line that the pass band gain stays flat and level called maximally flat until the frequency response reaches the cutoff frequency point f equals to f1, and the gain of the filter reduce past its corner frequency at 1 by root 2 or 0.707, which is its maximum value. So this point is generally referred to as filter minus 3 decibel point, and for first order low pass filter the damping factor will be equals to zeta equals to 1. Okay. So, however, this minus 3 dB cutoff point will be at different frequency position for a second order filter because of the steeper minus 40 dB per decade roll off rate at blue line. So, this is the amplitude response. Now I will discuss about the example mathematics. So in this math, a second order low pass filter is to be designed around a non-inverting op amp with equal resistor and capacitor value in its cutoff frequency, determining the circuit if the filter characteristics are given Q equals to 5 and Fc equals to 159 Hz. Design a suitable low pass filter and draw its frequency response. Okay, so characteristics given: R1 equals to R2, C1 equals to C2, and Q equals to 5 and Fc equals to 159 Hz. So from the circuit we know that for equal resistance capacitance, the cutoff frequency point Fc is given as Fc equals to 1 by 2 pi Rc. Choosing a suitable value, say 10 kilo ohm for the resistor, and the resulting capacitor value is calculated. Fc equals to 1 by 2 pi Rc, C equals to 1 by 2 pi Rfc, and the value of C equals to, now by calculating and putting the value is 100 nanofarad. Okay, so the cutoff frequency of 159 hertz and R equals to 10 kilo ohm and C equals to 0.1 microfarad or 100 nanofarad. With the value of quality factor 5, the filter gain A is calculated as Q equals to 5 and A equals to 3 minus 1 by Q, like A equals to 2.8. So we know from above the gain of the non-inverter op amp is given. A equals to V out by V in equals to 1 plus RA by RB, and which is equals to 2.8. So hence RA equals to RB equals to 1.8, and if RA equals to 10 kilo ohm, then RB equals to 5.55 kilo ohm. So look at this circuit, the final circuit. So this is the final circuit of this example mathematics. Okay, so after this I will start band stop filter. So a band stop filter, known also as a notch filter, blocks and reject frequency that lies between its two cutoff frequency point, passes all those frequency either side of this range. So by combining a basic RC low pass filter with a RC high pass filter, we can form a simple band pass filter that will pass a range or band of frequency either side of two cutoff frequency point. But we can also combine this low and high pass filter section to produce another kind of RC filter network called a band stop filter that can block or at least severely attenuate a band of frequency with these two cutoff frequency point. So the band stop filter BSF is another type of frequency selective circuit that function in exactly the opposite way to the band pass filter we looked at before. So the band stop filter, also known as band reject filter, and passes all the frequency with the excitation of those within a specific stop band which are greatly attenuate. So if the stop band is very narrow and highly attenuate over a few hertz, then the band stop filter is more commonly referred to as notch filter, as it frequency responds so that a deep notch with high selectivity, a steep side curve rather than a flattened wider band. Also, just like band pass filter, the band stop or band reject or notch filter is second order two-pole filter having two cutoff frequency commonly known as -3 decibel or half point, producing wide stop band bandwidth between those two -3 decibel point. So then the function of a band stop filter is to pass all those frequency from 0, which is in DC, up to its first lower cutoff frequency point FL, and pass all those frequency above its second order second upper cutoff frequency FH, but block or reject all those frequency in between them. So then the filter bandwidth is defined as FH minus FL. So for a wide band stop filter, the filter actual stop band lies between its lower and upper -3 dB decibel point, as it attenuates or reject any frequency between these two cutoff frequency. The frequency response curve of an ideal band stop filter is therefore given as like this. So in a band stop filter response, we can see from the amplitude and phase curve above the band pass circuit that the quantities FL, FH and FC are the same as those used to describe the behavior of the band pass filter. So this is because the band stop filter is simply an inverted and complemented form of standard band pass filter. In fact, the definition used for bandwidth and pass band, stop band and center frequency are the same. So stop band and center frequency are the same as before, as we can use the same formula to calculate the bandwidth, center frequency FC and quality factor Q. So formula is same. So the ideal band stop filter would have infinite attenuation in its stop band and zero attenuation in either pass band. The transition between the two pass band and the stop band would be vertical, which is brick wall. There are several ways we can design a band stop filter, and they all accomplish the same purpose. Generally, band pass filter are constructed by combining a low pass filter LPF in series with a high pass filter HPF, and band stop filter are created by combining together the low pass and high pass filter section in parallel type configuration as shown in this figure. Look here, low pass filter, high pass filter, amplification, voltage in, voltage out. So the summing of the high pass and low pass filter means that their frequency response do not overlap, unlike the band pass filter. This is due to the fact that their start and ending frequency are at different frequency point. For example, suppose we have a first order low pass filter with a cutoff frequency of FL of 200 Hz connected in parallel with the first order high pass filter with a cutoff frequency of FH 800 Hz. As the two filters are effectively connected in parallel, the input signal is applied to the both filters simultaneously. As shown above, all the input frequency below 200 Hz would be passed attenuate to the output by the low pass filter. Likewise, all input frequency above 800 Hz would be passed unattenuated to the output by the high pass filter. However, an input signal frequency in between these two frequency cutoff points of 200 Hz and 800 Hz, that is FL to FH, would be rejected by either filter, forming a notch in the filter output response. In other words, a signal with a frequency of 200 Hz or less and 800 Hz and above would pass unaffected, but a signal frequency of say 500 Hz would be rejected as it too high to be passed by the low pass filter and too low to be passed by the high pass filter. We can show the effect of this frequency characteristics here. Okay, the transformation of this filter characteristics can be easily implemented using a single low pass and high pass filter circuit isolated from each other by non-inverting voltage follower, which is equals to 1. The output from these two filter circuit is then summed using a third operation amplifier connected as a voltage summer, which is shown in this figure. Look at this figure. The use of operation amplifier here within the band stop filter design also allow us to introduce a voltage gain into the basic filter circuit. The two non-inverting voltage follower can easily be converted into basic non-inverting amplifier with a gain of AV equals to 1 plus RA by Rin by the adding of input and feedback resistor as seen in our non-inverting op-amp tutorial. So also we required a band stop filter to have its -3 dB cutoff point at say 1 kHz and 10 kHz and stop band gain of -10 decibel in between. We can easily design a low pass filter and a high pass filter with these requirements and simply cascade them together to form our wide band pass filter design. Now we understand the principle behind a band stop filter. Let us design one using previous cutoff frequency values. So go for an example. So in this example, design a basic wideband RC band stop filter with a lower cutoff frequency of 200 Hz and a higher cutoff frequency of 800 Hz. Find the geometric center frequency, -3 dB bandwidth and Q of the circuit. So the upper and lower cutoff frequency point for a band stop filter can be found using same formula as that for the both low and high pass filter as shown. F equals to 1 by 2 pi RC Hz. So assuming a capacitor C value of both section of 0.1 microfarad and the value of two frequency determined by resistor RL and RH are calculated as follows. So FL equals to 1 by 2 pi RLC, which is equals to 200 Hz, and C equals to 0.1 microfarad and RL equals to, by calculating the value, 7958 ohm, which is 8 kilo ohm for low pass filter section. Okay, and for high pass filter section, the FH equals to 1 by 2 pi RHC, which is equals to 800 Hz, and C equals to 0.1 microfarad, and RH equals to 1990 ohm or 2 kilo ohm. So from this we can calculate geometric center frequency FC equals to root over FL into FH, which is equals to 400 Hz, and F bandwidth equals to FH minus FL, which is equal to 600 Hz, and quality factor equals to FC by F bandwidth equals to 0.67 or -3.5 dB. Now that we know the component values of for the two filter stage, we can combine them into a single voltage adder circuit to complete our filter design. The magnitude and polarity of adder output will be at any given time the algebraic sum of these two input. If we make the op-amp feedback register and its two input register the same value, say 10 kilo ohm, then the inverting summing circuit will provide a mathematically correct sum of the two input signal with zero voltage gain. Then the final circuit of our band stop band reject filter example will be like this. Okay, so we have seen here the simple band stop filter can made using first order low and high pass filter along with a non-inverting summing op-amp circuit to reject wide band of frequency, but we can also design a construct band stop filter to produce a much narrower frequency response to eliminate specific frequency by increasing the selectivity of their filter. So this type of filter design is called also notch filter. Okay, so this is all the filter circuit part 4. So before going through this video, you have to go through the part 1, part 2 and part 3 section, which you will get in my description section. So please go through this part 1, part 2 and part 3 section. After this, go through this part 4 section. So here I will discuss about some reference book, which is Circuit and Theory Analysis and Synthesis by Abhijit Chakraborty. Circuit and System by K.M. Soni. This is a very good book for BTech and Diploma Engineer. And Circuit Theory and Network by S.P. Ghosh and A.K. Chakraborty. So thank you, hope you all enjoy my lecture. So I have divided the whole filter circuit lecture into 4 parts. So please go through the part 1, part 2 and part 3, and after this go through this part 4. Then the filter circuit is very clear to you. You can understand all the things of filter and you can calculate all the mathematics of filter. So thank you, please subscribe my channel. Stay safe, stay happy.